Hi, I'm Lay Rooster here with your Marvel Strike Force Weekly Buzz. This just in. Marvel Strike Force sat on a wall. Marvel Strike Force had a big fall. All the top technicians and all the King's men couldn't put Scopely back together again. However, Scopely came back and discovered the Wayback Machine to do wibbly woobly wibbly woobly. Now they're gone backwards in time, everything's fixed, and now I'm rich, and so are you. We got tons of gear and gold and compensation. What does this disaster mean for you, and how can you benefit from this windfall? Let's talk about it, especially if you're a new player or a mid-game player trying to figure out how to best use that to advance your game. Also, we've got a new blog post. We'll be looking on the Buzz here to check out what's happening, what's affecting you, and specific tips to help new players and mid-game players alike. So we're going to get into that, but before we do, go ahead please and go below and subscribe to this channel, like on the video down below. Make sure you turn the notifications on so you know when I'm posting these updates and my other content, as well as give me a comment and let me know about things you want to see in other videos. You can catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/lay_rooster every evening on Pacific time after work time, and then all throughout the day on the weekends. I'm probably streaming right now while you're watching it. So go ahead and check out and hang out with us. Let's get down to business. Here we go, and this is the emergency downtime email that we got from the game, and it says, we recently experienced unexpected technical difficulties due to an erroneous inbox message and had to undergo emergency maintenance. Okay, let's talk. Around 4:50 p.m. Thursday, right before server reset, they sent us an email. Scopely, sent us an email which said, hey, our top technicians have fixed some problems. Here's some compensation. They do this from time to time. People who clicked on it, suddenly it wasn't working. They were getting some errors. They clicked on it a few more times. That didn't work. And then after they closed out and looked at their game, they noticed that their gold count was going up. It was going from 1 million to 5 million to 10 million to 80 million. People who were on said that they were upwards of 380 million or half of $1 billion in gold that would have helped them. And then as soon as Scopely figured it out by about 5:30 Pacific time, they shut everything down. The game was down. It was dead. They were playing a funeral march for the game, and I don't know what was happening. I didn't know when it was going to come back. The streams were all about it, and it was a big deal. It did come back 4.5 to 5 hours later. I was falling asleep and had to go to bed by the time I heard it was coming back up, and we weren't sure what they were going to do. But, like I said, here they went in and talked about, in order to fix that, they reverted the game back to a timed backup taken before the issue occurs. That means all progress made between approximately 4:50 p.m. Pacific and 5:30 p.m. Pacific on May 6th has been lost. They know it's a big deal, and they apologize. Okay, so they did a rollback with the Wayback Machine on the servers and databases. All right, so the thing is, this happened. The problem started 10 minutes before server reset. The new offers came out at 5 o'clock. Colleen Wing was available to be purchased, and people were waiting for her, and so many people probably did buy her. Many people might have opened those orbs. You can't get any of that stuff back. However, they are tracking down who got purchases and trying to fix that stuff. But again, these are the same people that broke their own game with an email. So don't wait for them to contact you. Contact support if you made purchases and don't have some stuff. Hopefully you might have some snapshots or different things that can kind of help show what you got, and hopefully they'll be good about kind of fixing the problem for you. I'm sure they're going to have to try and do all that stuff, but they did just break their game with an email, and that seems special. So anyway, all right, so that's the situation. Now what happened though is, in this email, and with the later on actually the other email that comes in gives us a ton of compensation. In that compensation there's a lot of top tier items and gear tier 15 and 14 stuff, other kind of energy and credits. I got things for the Strike Pass, which was great, which had just started as well during that time. If you waited, I waited a little bit to open it. And 7 million gold was in that email. Now I had about 500,000 gold, and I had not opened the email and gotten the bug to start doing the Superman trick to multiply my gold. So I didn't have any gold from this. So the 7 million really helps me out a lot because I had 500,000. So suddenly I can work on characters that I was trying to build gold up for. What do you do if you're a new character or a mid-game player? One, you're rich, all right? You got 7 million gold, but don't waste it. Don't spend all that gold in one day. Definitely don't. You generally don't want to spend too much, 1 million, 2 million max in a day, but make sure you're doing it on things that you need. So if you save it, it'll be there, right? And who knows, it might even grow again if they send another email. So hold on to that and pace yourself out. If you're a brand new player or new one, I have a baby account, level 35. This gold is going to go really far because I'm paying like 10, 20, and 30,000 gold to upgrade pieces and things like that. So 7 million of it is going to take me a while and really advance my initial teams and all that. But don't waste it just because you have it. This is a bit of a blessing, and you can use this to build if you're new. If you're mid-game, you may be waiting on some bigger jumps. I know with my roster on my main, I've got some characters at level 65 that I'm trying to slowly take up to level 71 before eventually figuring out if they're going to 75. And that step takes 1.9 million. So last night I was able to move one character up 1.9 million using a portion of that. I can do that with a handful of characters of each over the days, and that's going to help. Think about how you want to use it and save that gold. Maximize the benefits you get from spending that much gold in the game, because once you reach max out the gold spending milestones at 2.7 million for the day, you don't get any more. So spread it out and pace yourself. Some of the advice. Anyway, let's move on to our blog. We have some blog information to talk about. It's the Extra Credits blog. This one has no reference to the crash because, of course, it was probably written earlier in the week before they knew. And if they had sent it as an email, well, who knows what happened to it. So anyway, they start talking about it. Let's talk about what they're doing and how these affect particularly new players and mid-game players. All right, greetings, commanders, etc. One thing is they're going to be talking about the red stars for Ultron, as well as silver promotion credits increasing. So those are big themes to pick up on here. Let's talk about these dark promotion credits. These are dark promotion credits that are going to help us with getting red stars on Ultron and Ultimus. And so you'll be able to slowly get these credits. They're probably going to work like the silver or gold promotion credits and allow us to slowly build up Ultron and Ultimus. Ultimus, if you completed Dark Dimension 3, you have him. If you completed it twice, you get the 5 red stars for him. Excuse me. So that'll help you, and you'll be able to raise that higher. For Ultron, he has no red stars, so this will be the first time he can get them. Ultron is a great character you get from completing as a reward for completing Dark Dimension 2. He's really useful, and you can use him in raids. You'll use him perhaps in arena and different places, RTA, Blitz, etc., and War. Now, he's still great and always has been, but because he didn't have red stars, he couldn't grow quite as big as some of the other top dog hotness that's out there. So this will give him a chance to boost up a little bit. You may be able to use him in new places where before he just couldn't cut it. So look out for that and be aware. Again, if you're a new player or an early mid-game player, you have to complete Dark Dimension 2 and Dark Dimension 3. You have to complete both of them twice before you unlock the respective character, Ultron or Ultimus, for these red star dark promotion credits. So just know that that's something coming. And if you're getting close to finishing one of those Dark Dimensions, congratulations. And know that once you do it a second time, you'll unlock this ability, and that'll be good. So know that also, you do the Dark Dimension twice and get the credits. So that's coming up. All right, we'll find out more as that happens and we start seeing the effect of red stars on Ultron. I'm excited for my Ultron on this. So, all right. Also, the monthly login calendar is going to have 25 more silver promotion credits. They're trying to infuse these credits. Now, these credits help us with to bring characters up on red stars from 1 to 2 to 3 to 2 to 3 to 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. Then you need the gold promotion credits to bring a 5 to 6 and a 6 to 7. So it's 2 different currencies that they're related in the same store. All right, but we don't have enough of them, and it's hard. to get more. So we're going to be getting more. They're saying we're going to get 150 silver promotion credits per month in order to help bring us up. That will bring 1 4 red star character up to 5 red stars. So that's enough to do it once a month. At least you know you have that. We didn't have that before, so you had to build up to that. So it's an improvement. Whether or not it's enough of improvement remains to be seen. Probably not, but at least one will come in and we can start doing that. At least we're going to know we have a little more steady stream of things coming in. So they're talking about putting in 25 in a login calendar. So you're going to log in every day to get that part. Chaos Theory, which is the Wakandan event. All right. They will add some more, 2 more silver promotion credits to the tier 7 Chaos Theory rewards. And you're going to need that. That's where you need, for new players and mid players, you need the Wakandan team, which includes Shuri, who's a legendary, unlocked by Sinister Six and Spider-Verse characters. More on that a little later. And then you need the rest of the Wakandans. Now, they were billed as a big team before, and it was always Wakanda forever. But I've found in play, and many have, that it's really more Wakanda for never, because they don't really do what they were built to do. But you do need them for this event, which helps you with your red star promotions. So even though you're not going to be told to level these guys up for other reasons, but know that the only way to get these silver promotion credits is from that team. So it's a good thing to kind of piecemeal together or to work on kind of on the side, but not as a rush, because they're not going to help you in a lot of things. I can use them a little bit in Blitz, occasionally in certain war punch downs and things like that. But they don't have a ton of use. Be aware. But some of the characters are more useful than others. So, but as a team, they're usually split up and spread around. So just be aware. So then the Strike Pass. We're going to talk about the Strike Pass and the Mojo's Mayhem. And for a point, since we're talking a lot to new players and to mid-game players, I want to give a flash of the game here. Go. Let's look at this so we can talk about this, because this is confusing even when I'm talking to people who have been playing as long as me as well. When we go to the daily pass, this is the Strike Pass. You have 1, 2, or 3 Strike Passes, and it gives you things that you unlock by doing your daily objectives. Right now we're getting Polaris, and you have a free path, and you have a pay $20 to get that path. This is the Strike Pass. So when we talk about Strike Pass, this is the one that is tied to the daily objectives. Now, when we talk about real-time arena, as you go in here, it's the Mojo's Mayhem. And going in here, it's the Mojo's Mayhem Battle Pass is what we were calling it when it was the only one. You have free stuff along the bottom, including characters, and another place where you can get for $20 can activate to earn the top level of rewards as well, and double up particularly on the character that's being released. So don't get them confused. Don't spend on the one that is not the one you want. But let's talk about it based on what we've got in the blog post. Hope that helps. In the Strike Pass, that one, are 20 additional silver promotion credits coming in Season 3 of Strike Pass. Right now, we're in Season 2 with Polaris. Season 2, we have Polaris. We're finding out that in Season 3, we're getting more Polaris. Okay, she's an important member of the X Factor team. They're part of New Hotness. They have some use. They're going to help us in war as a war offense team. We'll figure out if they can help anywhere else. Definitely RTA, things like that. I use them in RTA all the time. They're actually kind of fun. So they're good. And she's important too. That's one of the newer releases. So they're going to have that. More silver promotion credits and more Polaris coming on that. Now on the Battle Pass, for your real-time arena pass, trying to make it real clear, that's going to start on May 7th, and they're going to be including Shatterstar, who is half of the Dad Bros, either the dad or the bro, depending on who you're talking to. And those guys are part of X Factor as well. So again, X Factor, Shatterstar, X Factor, Polaris, they'll help you with your X Factor team. All right, so if you're interested in that, there's ways to pay or to play for free on grinding out both of those passes. Now, in the Mojo Pass, they mentioned that the daily objectives, these are the things that we have to do each day in the Mojo Pass in real-time arena in order to earn the credits. Usually it's a lot of knockouts and using certain types of teams. It's been villains teams or hero teams or tech, characters with different designations like that. So where we have to use abilities. They're reworking some of this, and they said they've changed the necessary time to complete the dailies, making it a little less grindy is what they're saying. We'll see. Their calculations could be suspect. They did just break the game with an email. All right. And so they're going to emphasize more knockouts while also a broader range of traits, affiliation, and origin. So there might be mutants who are cosmic, which is going to be the Dad Bros, by the way, or some other characters like that. So you'll be able to do some stuff on your dailies. They've increased the focus on daily objectives by decreasing the amount of weekly objectives and giving more points for completing dailies. Typically, the weekly stuff took a really long time. I mean, preferably less than a week or else you didn't finish it. But it took a while to grind that out. Over a while, and sometimes some very unfun auto battles that you had to do, and many of them. So they're going to give us, but they gave us a lot of points when you finished them, so it felt somewhat worth it. Now we're going to have more stuff on the dailies and less on the weeklies. The weeklies is still going to pay out. We'll see what that is. But in the dailies, there's going to be more of a focus of don't miss a lot of dailies. A lot of times if you did all your weeklies, even though they were painful, you would end up being much better off if you missed something you didn't have. But so there's going to be a little bit more mix of characters by their origins and their traits and affiliations and team memberships, things like that. Look for a video clarifying some of that coming soon. So make sure you're doing your real-time arena daily. That's going to be important in order to get all the points that you need to progress the battle pass. All right. Ratings. They're just saying get some more ratings. Silver promotion credits. They've moved the silver promotion credits that are in the ratings to move them up to make them easier. So when you get to level 38 in the pass, you're starting to get those silver promotion credits instead of further down the line. Just making them pay sooner. And if you don't get as far, you still get some of them, which is important for all the characters and all the players in the game. Star of the show, just highlighting that they're giving us Shatterstar. All right, and the last point that they're making is improved matchmaking. All right, they made changes to matchmaking, and I've noticed some of this, but have you? Let us know in the comments. Where the system puts more weight on the total power of the single team going into the match and less weight on total collection power. They say they're monitoring it. Again, they were also using their top technicians to break the game with an email. So let's watch and see and give them plenty of feedback about what's going on. All right. So this makes sense. Like I'm a 7.7 million total collection power player, and so I would generally be matched up with other people who are similar in power. However, I might be bringing in a team that was much lower in power than what is probably the average for my power level, because I was doing some kind of team composition or using some characters with certain traits and things like that. So I could sometimes I'd be fighting someone who was 300,000 power bigger than me in the team. And it was not a fun fight, and I didn't get a lot accomplished. I just had to rinse and repeat and hope for the best. So they're saying now that if I come in with a team that's 100,000 power, like 20,000 for each of the 5 members, which is much smaller than a lot of my regular teams, that if I'm trying to like shoot to win, so to speak, then I should be matched up with someone else who's closer, whose team that they're putting in is closer to 100,000 power. That'll be great because that's gonna make it more even for a newer player who's coming in whose top team is smaller, like 100,000, or for a mid-game player who's trying to stretch with a roster that has a smaller, weaker team, but because of the objectives, you want to use those characters. So hopefully we find some matchups that are more fair, where you have a better chance, we have a more enjoyable fight, everybody has a chance to win, perhaps, and get some points. So we'll see. Let's find out. All right, now we talk about some legendary stuff. Returning legendary event. Ebony Maw is coming. All right, so they're going to bring him on. So now it's official. Ebony Maw is coming. We knew this was happening, but that is on his way. So we will get a special 2-time Inhuman Shard drop in order to unlock him. All right, Ebony Maw is a key legendary, one of the best legendaries, one of the best characters in the game currently. He's essential for making that Black Order, for empowering Thanos as part of the Black Order team, which is huge in War and Arena, and of course you can use them in Blitz and RTA and different things like that. So you need him, and Ebony Maw, you'll use him all over the place, including in the Dark Dimensions and different places like that. Now, point of note, you need Black Bolt to unlock Ebony Maw. The thing about Black Bolt is he's a legendary. This is the only place where Scopely has done this, where in order to unlock one legendary, you need another legendary unlocked as a prerequisite. So you unlock Ebony Maw with Black Bolt, importantly, the legendary, and 4 other Inhuman characters. All right, the rest of the Inhumans you can mix and match and work on, but there's not that many options, so you're going to end up working on almost all of them, depending on whether or not you get Yo-Yo, who's hard to get. So that means if you don't have Yo-Yo, you're definitely working on Karnak, who is not the most loved character in the game. But I'm trying to grind my Karnak right now, just so you know. So what does that mean? How to get Black Bolt is to have a team of 5 Asgardians, which includes Hela, who's a really great character all over the place, including in Dark Dimensions and Raids and Arena and things like that. And she's hard to get because she has a node that is available very late in the villains. So if you're not all the way through the villains, I think it's 7-9 that she comes in. 7-6, 7-9, I forget. But if you're not there, you can't farm her, so you either have to buy her or get lucky with drops and orb openings and things like that. So be aware. If you don't have Black Bolt, you're not getting Ebony Maw with this pass. So if you're a new or mid-game player, know what's happening here. If you don't have Black Bolt, work on your Asgardians so you can get Black Bolt the next time. And know that's once you get Black Bolt, you need to have your Inhumans team worked up. So filter and search by the Inhumans and look at the other Inhuman characters and see which ones you can get, because you're going to want to have them once you have Black Bolt unlocked in order to unlock Ebony Maw. These are characters you're going to want to have both of those legendaries, and so you're going to want to build those teams. But if you're really close to unlocking Ebony Maw, speed it up. But if not, make a plan now, because as they come back, that you'll have a better chance to do this 1-2 punch of unlocking Black Bolt with Asgardians and then unlocking Ebony Maw with Black Bolt and the Inhumans. So don't waste money on orbs that are going to boost your Inhumans when you don't have Black Bolt, because you can get them later. Just know that, and don't waste some money. All right. Now, Blitzes. Let's talk about that. We're going to get Luke Cage on May 10th in the Power Man Blitz, and on May 13th, we're going to get the Minister of Science Blitz, which is Graviton. Okay. This, for new players and early mid-game players, this is where the Blitz is really favoring you. All right. Luke Cage comes, we unlock him in the beginning tutorial of the game. He is the leader of the now defunct Defenders team, which hopefully you're not working on. All right? Let's not do that now. We're not in the Wayback Machine to 2 years ago. All right? But most players, all the upper level players have him and had him for the Defenders when they were worth having, and may have still worked on him, whether to their detriment or not. But that means that not a lot of people who are later mid-game play and all that are going to even be looking for Luke Cage. So if you're a new player, new blitzer, or an early mid-game blitzer who hasn't maxed them out, you can really ramp up on the blitz and may be able to rank much higher than you normally do. So look for that, and that'll give you a chance. All right. Now, Luke Cage is now going to be a part. He's been reworked as of like last week, and is now a part of the new Heroes for Hire, which is a great addition and a great throwback to a comic book name and team. And so where he's going to be relevant again. So that's a good thing to get him. They're going to be important on war defense, or at least an option on war defense that may be difficult. And like the newly released Colleen Wing, and then later Misty Knight, who's soon to come out, they'll be part of that new Heroes for Hire war defense team. We'll see what other uses they have as we start to play them out, but just know that you can have them for an eventual war defense team. So there will be some use. Better than putting your defenders on war defense. All right. Then we've got Graviton. He's an important member of the AIM team. That's a villain team. You can get them somewhat early and start working on them. But he's an important one to have to make the AIM team really function well as part of their previous rework. So you're going to want to get him. The AIM team is good to have a good villain team, and he makes them much better. So being able to focus on getting him will help. I've just unlocked the AIM team on my baby account and plan to use them as an effective villains team to help me with the villains campaign. So if you're working on that, that'll be helpful. Also, in Villains Chapter 7, when you're starting to get to the later end of the villains campaign, you need the AIM team, the Hydra team, or the Sinister Six members in order to beat that. And so if you have a good aim team, you're going to be able to go through that. You can also use Sinister Six, but sometimes it's a little tougher. That was my path, but which is why I'm aware of it and pointing it out to you. And then there's Hydra. There's new options now because we have people like Baron Zemo who can help, and they weren't in the game when I was doing that. But just know these are going to be ones where you can rank higher on the Blitz and get what you need to help you in that new roster. Okay. Bonus and flash events. All right, Double Trouble. Bolster your big city baddies on May 9th with Double Trouble event. Earn 2 times Sinister Six character shards. Prepare for Invisible Woman's return. All right. Invisible Woman, we know her from the Fantastic Four. She's a great legendary, really a good character, a little underrated, honestly. Has a lot of use, but often is passed up for some other characters. But she's finding her love, and she pairs well with Silver Surfer now, which also helps. So she's coming as part of the returning every 6 week, where we are more predictable that we can get her. All right, so you can unlock her with the Sinister Six characters. All right, now I just mentioned the Sinister Six before as them and the AIM team helping you in that tough section of Villains Chapter 7 in nodes 1 through 3. So that remains the same. Getting your Sinister Six will unlock Invisible Woman. It also unlocks Shuri, who's the legendary that I mentioned in the Wakandan team that helps you with Chaos Theory. Both of those legendaries are good, and you will use them even if you don't use their teams. So don't allow that to neglect you from getting them. So work on your Sinister Six, work on your AIM teams, and these will help with that. And your Sinister Six will help you get those 2 legendaries. Also know that your Sinister Six team has, once you are later on in the game, much later, you're able to unlock Doc Ock. He really boosts the quality of the Sinister Six. And then there are some other Sinister Six members. It's the Sinister Six, but there's like 8 or 9 of the Sinister Six. And when you put them on a team, they become the 5 members that are the Sinister Six. This is like a math problem, and just as we've seen with the golden emails, Scopely's not so great at math. So just know that the 5 becomes a Sinister Six, and there's several more that you can mix and match to make a Sinister Six team. So you'll want them, and they can grow, and you can have some different iterations of that team, particularly when paired with Doc Ock much later in the game. Don't worry about him right now. He's much more late game. But just know, work on those earlier Sinister Six as well. Don't miss out on these events. All right, then we talk about the Merc, Mayhem, and Payday. They've talked about you can get silver and you can get your hands on gold in the Merc, Mayhem, and Payday event. Okay, so the Payday event comes out once a month, and you use mercenary characters. Filter your search by mercenary, and you'll see that one of the keys is like Taskmaster, who's a little harder. Who's definitely harder to get in the end of the Doom campaign 3.9. But who really brings, like the rug in The Big Lebowski, he ties the mercenaries together, all right, and really works with them. So you can use any of the mercenary minions, like Mercenary Riot Guard, like that, and others that have the mercenary tag. But you can also use characters with names like Korath, who's a mercenary, Deadpool from the X-Force team, so they can mix in. Also, Killmonger, who's a good character and a member of Wakanda. So he's a mercenary, and he's a good one, too. So remember, you need those Wakandans in order to help. So this is a way where he can also be helpful to you and your mercenary team. Plus, if you get a full mercenary team, you might use them in war. You can definitely use them in Blitz and do some RTA stuff as well. And later on in the Doom campaign, the mercenaries have some options for you as well. So know, but this is a way to monthly get a whole bunch of gold by building up your mercenary team and getting some recurring gold infusion. Now, right now, because we're rich, I feel like I got the treasure of the Sierra Madre when this email dump of 7 million gold helps me, so that I'm stockpiling all the gold orbs I have and not opening them until much later and slowly doling out my gold. But eventually, you too can get the gold and start stockpiling it so that when something does come out that you want to rush a little faster, or you get a new unlock of a character that you're excited about and know exactly where you're taking them, so you have the gold to do that. Gold is the main bottleneck in this game over gear and over training materials, because you'll get those over time, but if you don't have the gold, you still can't move with them. So it really stops you as a hard stop. So make sure you stockpile that gold. Be prepared for this mercenary event. So that's the end of this blog for this week. This is the beginning of the Marvel Strike Force buzz, giving you some weekly news information and talking about how it affects new players and particularly mid-game players as well. so you can strategize and be well. If you like my content, please go down and subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up on the video. Place a comment in there and let me know what you didn't like or what you did or what you'd like to hear more of in the comments in the next video or in other types of videos that I do. I make content weekly on Marvel Strike Force as well as on Star Trek Fleet Command, one of Scopely's other games, which they haven't given me a bunch of gold yet, but who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky. So we'll see on that. Please check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/lay_rooster, where we are streaming all the time. If you look, I'm probably streaming right now on the weekends and Pacific time after work on the workday evenings. So check us out and add in those comments and those likes. I look forward to seeing you, and thanks for being here at the Hen House, and cock-a-doodle-doo.